Women have no problem letting people know that they are looking for a relationship. We shout it from the mountaintops, we take a seminar, we take a class, we ask around, do you know anyone? Are you single? Do you have a brother? Does your brother have a brother? I guess that would be your brother. Do you have a sister? I will take anything at this point. We let people know, we get license plates made, like looking for you. Like we let you know. I feel like men are a little bit more laissez-faire when it comes to a relationship. Like, oh, I fell into her, now we have 4 kids. Like it's just kind of, it's less deliberate and women are like this way and like, oh, I guess I'll just go that way. It just becomes, their stories are less deliberate. I've asked a lot of guys, how did you meet your girl? And I've noticed that about 80% of the stories sound very similar. 80% of the time, it's like, how do we meet? All right, well, I was out with my buddies. And you know me, I wasn't looking for anybody. And then I saw her. And that lie becomes a big part of our narrative as women. This hope that we will go out and a man is going to see us, save us, rescue us. It's this hope that we're going to be seen, and that's going to happen for us. And we all have this sort of shared fantasy where you walk into a club or a bar with 5 of your girlfriends who look exactly like you. And you walk in and a man picks you out of the crowd, sees you for the beautiful soul that you are. Like decides, like there's some DJ up there and he looks out and he's like, oh, her. And you're like, and then your life begins, right? This is not our fault for expecting this or thinking this will happen. We have been taught this message since we were little girls. Princesses get saved. Snow White got saved by the prince. It was really the 7 dwarves. Like she was like lost in a forest, but like 7, man, who is she? Right. Sleeping Beauty was saved when the prince kissed her while she was sleeping. Terrible moral. What do we take away from that? Generations of men like, no, if you just kiss them when they're sleeping, they're forever grateful. Officer. So naturally, we go out hoping to be discovered. And there's this weird thing where a lot of girls, when we're single, we don't want to admit that we're going out hoping a man notices us. Like, of course you are, but we don't want to seem desperate. No, I'm just going out with my girlfriends, just in full makeup with padded everything. It's just for fun. I'm just going out. It's normal to want to be noticed by someone that you find attractive. That's the caveat, okay? It's normal to want that attention. Even when you're in a relationship, you still have a beating heart. You still want people to let you know you're attractive. Even if you're with your guy, you're holding his hand and you're walking and you just see some hot guy and you're just like, you like that? He's like, I like that. You like that. No harm, no foul. We all try this bullshit, like, I'm not even trying, really? Then put a feed bag over your head, carry an onion. You're trying, okay? You don't have to try that hard, but you're going out. It's nice to be noticed. So we all do. We all put on the makeup. We force our chub into some pants. You shove your coyote paws into some heels, and we go out. And you don't even hunt. What do you do, girls? You just stand in a pack of 6 other women, 6 other coyotes. Getting annoyed that no guy's hitting on you? Yeah, there's 6 of you. He's terrified. We get annoyed so quickly when a guy doesn't notice like all the effort. So then what do you say? You're like, this sucks, let's take a lap. So you just move like in a perfume cloud around the perimeter of the bar. Maybe they're more progressive 10 feet from here. So this begs the question, as women, as feminists, maybe some 1 or 2 lazy guys might posit the question, well, how come the guy's got to hit on the girl? You're an independent woman. Why can't a girl hit on the guy? Why can't the girl hit on the guy? God's honest answer, because we did all this. You fucking do something, Scott. That's the answer. It's a lie. Okay? A lot. I haven't had bread in 5 months. It's a lot, okay? A big part of the reason women don't hit on men is that women aren't seen as equal to men. Therefore, when we step out of a traditional feminine role and do something alpha and hit on a guy and he rejects us, it hurts that much more. And on a biological level, you know at your core, he's not rejecting you based on your shoes or your outfit. He's rejecting your eggs. Huh? You get up all this nerve to talk to a guy, you're like, excuse me, would you like my eggs? I don't want those fucking eggs. Please! I only have but a few. Women aren't seen as equal to men, so it's uncomfortable to hit on men. There's a lot more at risk for us. Maybe one day, in a utopia where men and women are considered equal, maybe one day we can hit on men unencumbered by self-esteem issues. But as it stands now, that's not something we can do. Our grandmothers didn't hit on men. Our mothers didn't hit on men. Maybe one day. Maybe my generation changes it. It's too late. But maybe my generation with the hashtags and the tweets, maybe we'll change it so that our great-granddaughters can hit on men. Yes, that's the dream, that we do the work now so that our great-granddaughters will know the thrill of hitting on a half-in-the-bag Guido outside a taco truck at 2 a.m. 'Tis but a dream. Another big part of the reason that women don't hit on men is that men are better at dealing with rejection sexually. Women are not used to dealing with rejection when it comes to sex. We're used to dealing with rejection when it comes to the idea of, I don't know, governing our own bodies, having our own thoughts, getting paid the same for the same job a man does. But when it comes to sexual rejection, men deal with it more than women because they have more at-bats. They hit on women more. Ask the guy next to you. Be like, when was the last time you were sexually rejected? He'll be like, do you mean like in the Uber on the way here, at the box office? Like behind that plane while you were in the bathroom? Like, be specific. Because every guy knows it's about the at-bats. It's about how many times can you hit on a girl, because you know eventually one's gonna say yes. When men first start going out, it's about quantity over quality. Like, hey, sweetheart, ew, you're ugly anyway. How about you? Like, you keep going through it. Because every guy knows you gotta kiss a lot of frogs if you're gonna what, guys? Fuck a frog. That's right. So, because he knows. Every guy, they're not gonna admit it to you. Every guy knows if he hits on like 20 women in a night, one's gotta say yes. Like one gross out's gotta be like, sure. At like 2 a.m., it's his Hail Mary at the buzzer pass. The lights are coming on. He's like, hey, yeah. Some girl will turn around and be like, okay. Can we wash my hump before we make love? Just kidding, it's an egg. So, an easier meal. Side note, I am aware that it's the lioness, not the lion, that does the hunting, but let's pretend that that lion was like a bachelor and hadn't met his wife yet. Okay, so, we got all the zoologist questions out of the way. So, I will stand up here, and perhaps other women in your life that you consider strong will stand in front of you and tell you, be strong, do it your way, be tough. And it's one thing to say that, and for a lot of women, it's very difficult to live that when everything that we're taught tells us the opposite. Every movie we've seen since we were little girls has an opposite message. In movies, it's not the strong girl, the funny girl, the brave girl, the smart girl, the loud girl, the opinionated girl who gets the hot guy. No, girls like me get like fucking Steve Zahn and Jonah Hill. Like that's what... Well, she is funny and he looks funny and they'll fuck funny and they'll appreciate each other's souls. And it's always the quiet girl, right? The new girl that gets like Channing Tatum. It's always the girl that doesn't realize how beautiful she is. The girl that isn't funny, isn't opinionated. The subtext of that message is, that's right, girls. Men don't like a lippy woman, so zip it, hottie. Because it's always that. It's always the girl that doesn't know she's hot. Which, by the way, that Hollywood archetype, bullshit. Okay? It's bullshit. Because you fucking know when you're hot. No one's walking around like, what do I do with these giant tits and thin legs? How did I get in this Victoria's Secret catwalk? I'm choking on my silky hair. Like, you know. And we keep seeing the same story over and over. It's about the girl that's unsure of herself and a guy sees through it and then she realizes how beautiful she is when she takes off her glasses. Like, it's the same thing. It's always the girl, she's like, I don't know if I should go out. And the girls that are outgoing, that maybe enjoy their bodies, are confident, are like, let's go out. I don't know, I should stay home. I've never left the house before. We're taking you out, let's go drink, let's go dance. I should stay in and study. We're 35, what are you fucking talking about? Let's go. Walk into the nightclub, all the girls that are confident are dancing, they're having fun, right? They're like, hey, Channing Tatum. He's like, later, hookers, I want her. All the girls throwing, her. Cut to our hero, she's just sitting there in a corner, maybe she wore like board shorts to the club. She has no idea. All right, she's reading a book. All right, maybe she has brown hair, whatever. Before you get all offended at that, look at all of our eyebrows. We all have brown hair. Okay. Maybe not you, I don't know. I don't see any pure Norwegians here, okay? This joke isn't about shaming that type of woman. This joke is not about that. Whatever kind of woman you are, you're quiet, you're fat, you're small, you're big, you're tall, you're loud, you don't know much, you got a gill, whatever kind of woman you are right. That's it. Whatever you've chosen to be, whatever you want to be, you are correct in being that as long as you're happy. My point to you is if you are the shy type, if you are the wallflower, if you are the shrinking violet, if you are another floral metaphor that has to do with being an introvert, my point to you is that you don't want the guy who wants you because of that energy. A man who wants a woman because she looks scared is a sexual predator. Okay? All these girls that he could hit on, he picks the one that's like shivering like a wet chihuahua. Like a nervous street urchin just in a corner, putting out all kinds of no vibes. You don't want the guy that walks up and is like, excuse me, I couldn't help but notice you look terrified. Want to see my dick? So, I was out with my buddies. I wasn't looking for anyone. And I saw her. The idea that in a nightlife setting, that the man would ever see the woman before the woman saw the man. No. Women are astute, but moreover, women are the ones with the biological clocks. Women are the ones with the socially predetermined shelf life. Women are the ones who are cantilevered off the edge of high heels. We've got about 5 hours before we have to take them off and walk through a lobby flat-foot, okay? Women are the ones whose skin and foundation is dehydrating with every alcoholic beverage imbibed. We are the ones on a time crunch, on a schedule, okay? You saw me first, bullshit, motherfucker, I clocked you. Like, the second you walked in, dudes walk in a pack unaware, like, oh, I better fill out this bracket or I'll turn into a pumpkin at midnight. You're not even, you walked in, I was already hunting with 5 other women. You walked in and I was like, hold. And then we stalked around you. Encircled you, sussed you out like a German shepherd sniffing out an IED in the sand, motherfucker. Like And a lot of times men pride themselves on being very observant, right? You ever date a guy that if you go to a restaurant, he can't sit with his back to the door? No, I gotta sit with my back to the wall so I can assess all entrance and exit points. I gotta make sure that, okay, well, while you're checking out the people eating at Denny's, I checked your fucking credit score, okay? While you were doing counter surveillance, like I looked you up and down, I gave you a pre-cancer mole check. It's benign, move on. I looked at everything. No, I'm an alpha, I gotta look at the door. If you ever date a man that says he's an alpha, he's a beta. So, a lion doesn't tell you he's a lion. He just lets the girl hunt for him. Okay, so, and it's interesting because my reaction to children, and I don't know how many kids I want. I don't want like a Duggar situation, but maybe one cool baby, I don't know. I'd be in the airport in my 20s and I'd hear a baby cry. And all the women around me would be like, oh my God, it's a child. I'd be like, oh my God, don't sit by me. Like, that's all. Get it away. And it's interesting because I never thought about it. It changes slightly, the chemistry, the way you think about it. I was in the airport the other day and there was a baby there. And the baby made a big mistake. Because that baby let a chubby baby leg hang from his blanket. I had to squeeze it. I was like, what is this fit? And I found myself like moving toward the mother. And I knew, intrinsically, I knew she would let me squeeze his leg. Because women don't fear other women when it comes to children. Not like the corporate ladder or like dating or anything like that. But She knows I'm not creepy and I mean that baby no harm. That's something that we can trade on as women. Women aren't scary. When you're walking down a street late at night and a woman's walking toward you, you don't cross the other side of the street. I mean, you do if she's like, purple hippo, but like... When you're in an elevator and a woman gets on, you don't ever clutch your purse and back up a little bit. Women aren't scary and women aren't creepy. That's an important thing to remember. That no matter what we get faulted for, and we will get faulted for a lot, things like aging, right? Things you can totally control. No matter how much weight you gain, no matter how many wrinkles you get, no matter how opinionated you are, no matter what you become as a woman, women are always welcome around public parks and children's birthday parties. Always. I could go to an elementary school right now in a hospital gown with a raccoon on a leash. And the children would be like, you have a weird dog. Because of that inherent fact that women are not creepy. Men. All you gotta do is like part your hair wrong. So I get up near this baby, I wipe the sweat from my brow, I calm myself and I say to the woman, excuse me, hi. I need to squeeze your baby's leg. And she was like, absolutely, get in there, get in there. His name is Charlie, she gave me his blood type, his social security number. There's an art to squeezing a baby leg. You're not actually squeezing, you're actually taking your pincher fingers and you're putting it like this and you're lightly oscillating, allowing the fat to rapidly undulate so fast it looks like a fluid motion, not unlike the flapping of a hummingbird's wings, okay? This is how I give a hand job. Pressure you would apply to said leg, you then divert up to your back molar and your brain is... When you feel enamel starting to break down, that's how you know you gotta get out of there, okay? You know you're at maximum capacity for cuteness when you start making thinly veiled threats to the child. I'm gonna eat that leg. I'm gonna bite that nose. And the mom was into it. She's like, eat his fucking leg. I'm gonna eat that leg. I'm gonna eat that nose. Everyone's into it except the kid was being the adult. He's like, what the fuck is this? But we've been brainwashed into trying to live up to this Instagram Photoshop example of what beauty is. And you know what? Some girls do look like that. Fuck them. No, some girls do look like that. There's always gonna be something you don't like, and we have to stop faulting ourselves for things that are very normal, right? I've got cellulite. What if he doesn't want to have sex with me because I got cellulite? Well, 100% of women have some form of cellulite. So if he doesn't want to fuck you because you got cellulite, he better start fucking dudes, because there's no other option until the robots take over. Moreover, he doesn't want to have that conversation. A guy doesn't find it attractive when you verbalize over and over how much you hate something. Like, but my cellulite, you didn't see it? I show it to you. Look at that. I'll make a face out of it. He doesn't. The conversation he wants to have is the following. Let me ask you a question. Are you going to continue to breathe during intercourse? You're like, yeah, it's planning on. He's like, then we're cool. Now it holds up in court. I found out. But I've got this and chub, and I don't like my arms, and I have stretch marks from growing from an infant. And you know what? I don't want to be this like hand holding, like every woman is perfect. Look, you might not be perfect, okay? I'm not here to judge that. If you're not, if you are, what I am here to say is it's up to you to decide how much you love your body and fuck everybody else. Don't fuck them because, not literally, but if it makes you feel good, it probably won't. It's up for you to decide, because we get so upset, and you know what? The guy that you like probably isn't even gonna notice the thing that you hate. Most people won't. Men won't. Most of the things you don't like about your body, a guy's not gonna notice. They're not that observant, okay? 40% of men can only see like 3 colors. Like 40% of the men in here don't know that that's red. Yeah, notice it's a hollow laugh. 40% of the men are like, ah, oh, fuck. Siri, what is red? And again, you might have a perfect body. You might not have a great body. I don't know what you got going on under that tarp, okay? You could have... blown out the whole region with a bad wax strip. I don't know. But what I do know is this. Whatever you have as a woman, whatever your body looks like, girls, however bad you think it is, pales in comparison to the look of 100% of scrotums! Why is this not the topic of every State of the Union address? Why is this? How come my thighs can't touch, but you have 2 dead baby birds hanging? Sir, bat-like, hanging. Sometimes so low they're in the toilet water. Hanging. Notice every guy here is either laughing, smiling, or like not making eye contact with me. Because it's never occurred to men to question their bodies. Every guy in here is like, well, wouldn't you want this on your face for free? Like, they don't. If we are to move forward as women, as feminists, we need to decide that we won't be shamed for what our bodies look like naturally either, okay? And just so you know, gentlemen, it's something that we tolerate, but it's not something that we fantasize about. It's just the way it is, so we never really question it, but no woman in here growing up was like, this is my Backstreet Boys poster, this is NSYNC, and this is a nutsack. Like, none of us. It's hideous, and I'll tell you something else, it's a little traumatizing. Because we put effort into the way that we look, and we're sitting there in bed waiting for you to come out, just like you have every night. You come out of the bathroom naked, and you look at us, and we look at you, and we're like, oh God, there it is. Who's the baby?